DT Lockdown Learning, Robotic Arm Lesson 2. Previously on DT Lockdown Learning, you used and chose cardboard dependent on two material properties, stiffness and elasticity. You may have doubled up your cardboard to increase these and to develop the material properties further. At the end of this project, you are going to be assessed against a few different things. Good material properties shown, so was it a stiff and elastic material? Have you been accurate with your dimensions? Did you add the right length? Were the fingers placed nicely and cut into thirds or bend into thirds? Are they nice straight lines? Was there a good 45-degree angle for the thumb? And was the whole thing cut and finished nicely? So we've done that already. And this week we're going to look at precision, placing your straws correctly for the fingers and thumb to be nice and secure, and functioning fingers. So do they move correctly and smoothly when you use the string? So what do I want you to do today? Well, you should already have your hand, and I've done some work on here I'm going to show you in a minute, but you should already have indented each finger so that it bends in the right way. And I suggest one line at the bottom, then one a third in from the top and a third in from the bottom. So you've got 3 lines. And I find the easiest way of doing this is by taking a ruler and just pressing down on each of those lines so they work and can bend really easily like that. So once you have your hand cut accurately and all nicely in shape, then you want to take yourself a straw, okay, and you want to cut them into the right place. Now, if I show you where I think we should be cutting them, you should be placing a straw here, 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 and somewhere near the thumb. You want to make these small enough so they fit into each of these areas, and by making them smaller and longer, your fingers will kind of bend separately. Note that this straw here goes all the way up to this line, and I think that will mean that this doesn't bend quite so easily here because it's got less of an anchorage point. If you draw that back to about here, then it would actually lengthen a little bit further. Now, how are you going to stick these straws down? Well, I've used sellotape as the easiest kind of option to show you that it can actually work. Obviously, much better would be a glue gun if you had it. But also, when you do come to do these in each finger, don't be tempted. See how the sellotape goes all the way along here? Don't be tempted to stick all 4 down at the same time, because what you'll find is that they start to move along and don't go accurately. I would personally do each one around the hand and then secure. Okay. Lastly, at the top, I have placed the string by just a bit of sellotape. That is probably the worst way of doing it, but it does work because you can now see that the finger starts to pull down. Now notice how the index finger doesn't go down too far, all right? It doesn't bend very much, and that's because that straw is too close to the joint. So I would bring that a little bit further back, giving it more space for the string to go. Now can you see what's happened? My string has come apart, all right, and it's fallen out of there. That's because I just sellotape that part on. So I would suggest you put a hole through the top here and then bring the string through and tie a knot in it. That would be one option, being careful not to kind of tear the cardboard in any way that you don't want, or use a glue gun if you have access to one. So you can see here I've now added the knot, pushed through the hole like that, tied a knot, and it works a lot stronger. Okay, now again you can see that the finger's not going all the way up at the top, so the elasticity is not quite there, and I need to strengthen it. So my main thing that I want you to do is make sure you string up all the fingers, the 4 fingers there. Have a look at the video because the thumb actually goes through here and comes down the back of the board, so that's important for you to note. I would also add that I've made my string really long with the loop on the end. Okay, the reason is that when it comes to actually next week, I want to be able to have enough string to make sure I can get it perfectly for where my fingers are going to add. So I want to be able to make sure that that string is long enough and cut it shorter rather than the other way around. So string up all the fingers, cutting all the straws, securing them properly. It's not an easy job. It will take you a bit of time, but that's all of what prototyping is all about. It's about practicing, getting it right, retrying it, and making sure the whole thing is functioning. Okay? Technology.